Hey, Aaron Adams here with Infinity Investing. Wanted to share with you today 6 tips that I have used to crush multifamily property investing. When I say multifamily, I mean duplexes, fourplexes, sixplexes, all the way up to 100-unit complexes. We manage a lot of single-family homes. We manage several thousand single-family homes, but we manage hundreds of doors of apartment buildings, and we also manage trailer parks, which would be multifamily as well. There are definitely some strategies that we utilize to really save money and take care of the property and to really kind of know what we're doing. So I want to share 6 of those pointers with you today. The first thing I want to share with you is be very slow to ever buy an apartment building that's like an illegal apartment building. So sometimes I'll see an old single family home that was chopped up into 6, 7, or 8 units. Even if they got permits for that and they got permission from the city to do that, the first thing that I ask is, are all of the utilities split? So if they took that old home and they chopped it into 6 apartments, are there 6 different electric meters, 6 different gas meters, 6 different water meters? And what you'll find is a lot of times the owner still pays for the utilities. So the owner will pay the power, or the owner, I have an apartment building where it's got an old boiler. And so each apartment has a radiator in it for heat. And so I have to pay the gas bill to heat the water, and I have to pay the repairs for that. Now I can charge more for rent, but there's variability with that. And anytime you add volatility and variability into your multifamily, you're adding a giant question mark potential for loss. So I hate paying electric bills for my clients. I hate paying gas bills for my clients, and I hate paying water bills. Now, in some markets, water is so cheap that even if they fill a kiddie pool or let a toilet run, it's not that big of a deal. But in most places in the country, utilities that are not divided tend to create way too much variability. And what I have found is even, let's say that fair market rent in a city is $800 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. And the seller of the property says, well, it's a duplex, but I pay all utilities because the utilities aren't split, so I'm getting $1,000 a month. That may look sexy, and you may think, oh, well, good, I'm getting so much over market rent that it accounts for it. But I'm telling you, over time, you don't want to pay those bills. You'll find that you'll get really high bills at a certain time of year. So with water bills, they'll let a toilet run. They won't report it as a maintenance item like they will if they're paying the water bill. If it's gas, they'll run it, and they know that you're paying for it. I mean, think about what you do when you go into a hotel. You jack up the air conditioning, you jack up the heat, and you let it run high. And your tenants will do the same thing. So I would strongly advise that you think twice before ever buying multifamily where the utilities are not divided. Just from one investor to another, one of the best tips that I can give you. Second tip is to use an insurance broker. Many of you have your car, your home, and your auto, and your life insurance bundled with your State Farm guide. And so you decide to buy a 6-unit apartment building, and you have your State Farm guy give you a quote, which is fine. But just like with a mortgage broker who has the ability to go out and find multiple lenders to do a loan, insurance is such a fragmented industry. And I'm amazed. We're buying a big portfolio down in Florida. It's over 120 doors, 63 houses, 40 buildings that are duplexes and fourplexes. And I'm amazed at the number of differences we've been getting in insurance quotes. And so, sometimes local agents have an advantage. Sometimes big national groups like Lloyd's of London have an advantage. Spend the extra time getting multiple quotes on insurance, because insurance is not created equal. So yeah, have your guy quote, one for the building. But I always try to find out if I can get the name of the insurance provider of the person that I'm buying the property from. A lot of times just keeping in the insurance with the existing provider is because they already know what the asset is. They're already comfortable with it, and they're happy to keep insurance in place. Maybe increase the limits because you're buying it for a higher price. Third advice that I would give you to crush multifamily investing is use property management software. Don't just use a spreadsheet. Don't use a yellow tablet. Don't use a Google Doc. Spend the time to buy something like AppFolio or Propertyware and put your property in that software. It will help you keep your financials correct. It will help you give the maintenance records that you need if you ever get sued. There are just so many, from keeping your taxes straight to keeping your books straight, there's just so many good reasons. If you're not willing to do that, then hire a manager who will. And in some cases, you'd be better off to use a local property manager who already uses that software and knows how to use that software and will keep your property in that software. Always use property management software. There's just no good reason not to use it. Fourth strategy that I have for you is consider discounting the rent if they will stay 18, 24, 36 months. So if you want $1,000 a month for month to month, then you should be willing to go to $950 for a 12-month lease, $875 for a 24-month lease, $795 for a 36-month lease. Now, you might think that that's counterintuitive because you may say to me, well, Aaron, what if I want to raise the rents? Rents are going up. Let's talk about that. So let's say you have it. Let's say you agree to rent something out for $800 a month for a 36-month lease. So you're losing $200 a month if you were to go for the first 12 months at $1,000 a month. And so you're like, over the course of 3 years, I'm going to lose $200 a month for the first year, $200 a month for the second year. That's $4,800. And I would counter to you that if you only rent it out for a year, what if that tenant decides to move to another freshly remodeled apartment that they find, or they find something for $950, and now they move out, and so you lose 1 month's rent from when they move out, and then you have to spend $500 to $1,500 to fix it back up, and then yes, you do get to rent it out for $1,100, so you can raise the rent, and then you got to pay a leasing commission anywhere from 1/2 to 1 full month's rent. So you're already out a couple $1,000. That's 1 year. But you gain $1,200 because you raise the rent to $1,100. So you're still down $1,000. And then what if those tenants move out after a year because you're at market rent? So what I have found in 22 years is that if your tenant moves out after every 12 months, the cost of the turn, the costs that you pay in between tenants are usually much more than just keeping them at a lower rent rate on a longer term lease, just one investor to another. Okay. Fifth point of advice that I would give you for crushing multifamily investing: never count on the vending or the washer and dryer machine, vending machines, washer and dryers as revenue. You may see that money's coming in on those, but what you will find is that when you add up the utility costs, what does it cost for the gas and the power and the water and the sewer to run those, and then repairs? You're never really making any money. And after you count up utilities and repairs, and if you pay a manager to empty those machines out and put some of the money in their pocket, that you just don't make money off of those. So when you're buying an apartment building, don't say, oh, well, it looks like we're going to make $1,000 a month from vending and washer and dryers. You won't make that money. You may bring that revenue in, but you'll find over time that it's offset by utilities, it's offset by repairs, it's offset by management that you have to pay. Final word of advice that I would give you for any multifamily property, if it's more than 2 units, so 3 to 100, is have a spy. You may have a property manager, but you need a spy. Who's that? Somebody that you can develop a personal relationship. Somebody responsible, somebody who seems like a pretty good person. And maybe you ask the outgoing owner who the best tenant is over there. Let that person fill you in on what's going on. Somebody dealing drugs? Is there domestic violence? Does somebody raising puppies and they didn't have a pet deposit? There's always things happening in the community, and you want somebody who lives in that community, who loves the community or likes the community and wants it to be a good place, that will report those kinds of things to you. And so you want to have that intel coming from somebody who you'll keep their confidence, but use that information to fix those problems and find them out on your own. I've had spies over the years, and it's really helped me to run better property management. Hopefully these strategies are helpful to you. Hopefully there's some things that you can incorporate as you move forward. We teach a multifamily class, so we teach how to invest at it as part of Infinity Investing. If you're interested in getting information about the classes that we teach, go to infinityinvesting.com and join us at one of our Infinity Investing workshops. They're absolutely free. We do them once a month on a Saturday. They're all day. it's the best starting point for you to get into real estate investing and to start learning this or whatever other strategy you're interested in. So thanks for taking a few minutes to join me today.